You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take on your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender, Travis Robinson, Maxwell Agency and Coach, is with us. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Ron. How are you?
Glad to have you with us.
Thanks.
Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. If you are a financial advisor, you will understand this better than most. It's Get to Know Your Customers Day. It's the law. If you're a financial advisor, you must know your customers. Okay, Coach, we got this one. National High Five Day.
High five.
High Five Day.
All right.
We've got those of us that have beaten anorexia. Cheddar Fries Day. I'm looking at the cheddar fries. Josh, I'm glad you did it that way instead of the one that's on line here. Although, you're missing the guacamole. I leave the jalapenos off because I'm old and it gives me indigestion. Yeah, that's just the way it is. National Pineapple Upside Down Cake. Yeah. National Look-alike Day. There is nobody that wants to look like me. Volunteer Recognition Day. Lima Bean Respect Day. That would also be called Flatulence Day. I shouldn't say that. But the irony of the day, I don't know if we have a graph for this one, Josh, but the irony of the day, 420. There are a lot of folks that, indulge, so to speak. I'm not inclined. I did try it many, many decades ago once. Got sick, didn't enjoy it. Adios. But 420 Day, is there any irony in the fact that we know Elon Musk tends to enjoy? Or at least he claimed to on TV. I don't know because, you can't believe everything you see on TV. But 420 and his rocket blew up. I wonder what that has to say. And, it's a privately held company, so he gets to do what he wants to do. I wonder what they were doing. I wonder what they did before. And Josh, you made a great point. It might have blown his high. I'm just throwing that out there. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 119 points. The S&P 500 is down 23. We've got the NASDAQ down 65. Oil down $1.72 a barrel. And we're looking at the 10-year Treasury. That's down about 6 basis points right now to 3.536. Wonder what's going on here. I think yesterday we said that oil was down also, but gasoline prices, yeah, not so much. I guess maybe it's all this regulation we're getting out of the administration. Looks like gas prices are down about a penny today for those of us in the formerly Golden State. Josh, you're still the same at 428. Nothing doing there in Nevada. Jody's at 469. Brittany in Colorado, 357. And as always, our tremendous underwriter, Lori, if I can get my finger on the map here, $3.28 a gallon of gasoline. $3.28. And they say that's the oil companies that are soaking the rich. Maybe it's the state of California that's soaking the rich. I'm just throwing that out there. $1.09 in state and local taxes and fees. $1.09 on average for California. $1.09. What's the rest of the country? 29 cents. So who's soaking it to the Californians, Governor? Just makes me ill when I listen to some of their commentary. Speaking of making me ill, how about this one? We've got a new guidelines coming into effect. And I can't make this stuff up. I mean, because the FHFA.
Such an idiot.
Yeah, they are idiots. So think about this one. A new rule from the administration, the FHFA, part of the Biden administration, is going to say if you have good credit on your home loan, we're going to charge you more. If you have bad credit, we're going to give you a discount. Does that make sense to anybody? So those of you that have really good credit and want a mortgage, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll show you how to temporarily screw up your credit so that you get a better mortgage rate. Think about that. I mean, I would have never imagined when I started doing loans many moons ago that this would be the idea here, but we did have the Clinton administration that got us into the last housing mess that we were in. So everybody had to buy a house and the banks had to give a loan to everybody. So we know what happens when we do these stupid moves that come from the federal government. Of course, is that an oxymoron? Stupid moves in federal government. Isn't that kind of like a given? When was the last time we got something that was normal that came from the federal government? And in this administration, we've got even more problems. Just fascinates me when I watch some of these things that are going on. And, don't you have to really, really be stupid to do these things? I just throw that out there. Of course, then again, intelligence is not part of the prerequisites for the cabinet in the Biden administration. As you know, I just refer to them. If you're old like me, you'll remember this. Travis, do you remember the Village People?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm not putting words in his mouth. These are my own thoughts, my own words. But doesn't the Biden administration, doesn't the cabinet just remind you of the Village People more than having a legitimate business or leadership group? I mean, think about this whole concept. Now, the Republicans today passed, I think it was 219 to 203, something along those lines, a bill that says transgender individuals are not allowed to participate in the sport of the sex they wish they were. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. Again, just me, because maybe I'm different. Well, I am different. But when I was in school, I want to throw this out to you, Travis. You're a coach at St. John Bosco, right?
Yes, sir.
Do they have showers in their locker rooms?
Yes.
They do. Okay, because I know some of the schools have gone to a point where they said no one's using them, so we're not going to waste that real estate for showers. When I was in school, way back when, this is in the 70s, right? Guys would do anything to get into the girls' locker room. If it was just a matter of saying, I'm going to dress up as a girl today, to get into the girls' locker room, you do that. And if I had a daughter, I would be pretty ticked off. Just throwing that out there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we got a great broadcast lined up for you today. What's the difference between a home inspection and an appraisal? Unlocking the secrets of the VA home loan income requirements. We'll talk about business benefits, and maybe we'll even get into golf. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. No, I'm not very much of a golfer. I've got this thing in front of me that stops me from golf. No, it's my knees, actually. But you can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
79% of all credit reports have errors that should be corrected through factual disputing. You could be saving thousands every year if your report was accurate. CreditSanitizer.com provides a free credit report audit when you furnish a specific $1 credit report. You can use this information to request corrections to your report and potentially save thousands of dollars. Get your free credit audit at CreditSanitizer.com. That's CreditSanitizer.com for a free credit report audit. CreditSanitizer.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. 1990, the Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 every day at this time. OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What are the loans doing? This is yesterday's numbers. You know, I don't have the loan, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't tell you what loans are going to lock at all day today. But yesterday's numbers, that's what we're going to talk about. We don't know APRs. They don't give us how many points were paid or given to get these rates, but we do know what they locked at on this big segment of the population. So let's take a look and see what happened yesterday. 30-year conforming loan, 6.537, up a little bit. Jumbo loan, 6.392. That was down a lot. The 30-year FHA, 6.417. That was down a little bit. The 30-year USDA loan, that was up a little bit at 6.407. That is for our friends in the rural areas, generally no down payment required, even though our friends at Geneva have other programs, even in the suburbs and the big cities that have no down payment requirements. So they're available. And the best loan on the market, that was down a little bit. That's the 30-year VA loan, and my eyes are bad, so I'm going to go to a different screen. It looks like 6.161 is the rate on that one. Let's take a look at what's going on today. S&P 500 is down 19.5. The 10-year Treasury is down 7 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities are up 17 basis points. The bond is up. That means the rate is down. So that's a little bit of good news for today's market. Initial jobless claims came out this morning, which measures individuals filing unemployment benefits for the very first time, reported at 245,000 claims for the last week. This represents an increase of 5,000. Got unemployment going up. From the previous report, revised report of 240,000 claims, above expectations. Continuing claims increased by 61,000 to 1.865 million claims, exceeding the 1.82 million estimate. Maybe James Bullard needs to hear this report. And we've also got existing home sales. Tracks closings on existing homes decreased by 2.4% in March at a 4.44 million unit annualized pace, which was below the 4.5 million estimate. Supply was up 5.4% from a year ago, and the median existing home price was $375,700 in March, a 0.9% decline from a year ago. Now think about this. You've got to understand this part because it is very, very important. Do you know what median home price change is worth? What does it mean to you? Absolutely nothing. There is absolutely no value in what is happening in median home prices. None. So if you ever hear somebody talk about median home prices, understand there is absolutely no value. Why do they use it? The late Essie Adibi once told me, he was the economist at Chapman University. So he told me the reason they use it is because it's consistent. They've been using it for years. But we know it's bad data. Median home price only tells you what the mix of properties selling is. So when the median home price goes down, that tells us there's more homes being sold at lower price points than the homes being sold at higher price points. That's all it's good for. Does it tell you anything about your neighborhood, your street? No. Does it tell you anything about your county, your community, your city? No. Does it tell you anything about that price point in general? No. It's worthless. If you want good data on values in your neighborhood, rsrlistana.com. rsrlistana.com. And you can get an idea of what's going on in your neighborhood. Not that it gives you a lot of better data there, because that also shows you median pricing. But it tells you the average days on the market in your neighborhood, your zip code. It tells you the price increases, how many properties are taking price decreases. So I just pulled up while we're talking, 92807. 41% of the properties have taken a price decrease. But on average, as a country as a whole, we're a little under 30%. So it says that they're pricing their properties too high in 92807. There are 18% of the properties being relisted. That means they went expired and came back on the market. But there's only 17 houses for sale. 17. So it tells us there's not a lot of inventory available if you want to buy a house in 92807, which tells you the prices are not going to go down, they're going to go up. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for a next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So if you are thinking about starting a business, buying a business, the man you need to talk to, Travis Robinson, is in the house, because he's the insurance guy that tells us more than about insurance. That basically accurate?
Well, we also like, if you don't have to be a startup. We want to talk to businesses that have been in business for a long time. So if you've got more than 2 employees and need group health insurance, we want to talk to you.
More than 2 employees.
Well, yeah, you can qualify with 2 employees. Our niche, or what we really like, is, I would say, over 20 to 100.
So let's throw this out there, because we've never talked about this, Travis. So I've got some friends that are contemplating purchasing a franchise dog hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they need employees for that.
Correct.
Will franchises fit in the niche that you work with?
Well, when I say niche, I mean, it's just businesses that we kind of target, go after. But yeah, if you're a W-2 employee and your employer offers benefits, we can absolutely save you money.
Do franchises generally have that as part of the organization? Or if I were to buy a franchise,
right?
I mean, maybe you don't even know this, because do I get an option as to, like, if I went and bought a McDonald's tomorrow, and I probably eat all the profits, but that's a whole different story.
I'm not sure about McDonald's. I know that I've worked with other franchises, Carl's Jr.'s, and it's really up to the business owner as to what they offer their employees.
Do you have to offer insurance?
If you're over 100 employees.
Over 100.
Yeah. Okay.
So we know partially whether we have to or we don't.
Correct.
Which, that's good. You know, that gives us some good information.
Right.
But you could probably go out and check for us and see if I'm getting a good deal if I already own a franchise.
Correct. Or if you're not with Anthem right now, I can almost guarantee you I can save you 15 to 20%.
Wow.
All right. Yeah. So if you're with any other carrier, we can do a custom analysis quote of what you currently have, what each employee has, what plan they have. We can do apples to apples and show them, hey, this is what you're on. This is what we can move you to with no doctor interruption. And I'm almost guaranteeing a 15 to 20% savings.
It's pretty special.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's a 15 to 20%, because that goes, I've owned my own businesses forever. That goes right to your bottom line.
It does. It's great for the employer and it's good for the employees, because if we're saving money for both, it's huge, and it's good for retaining, attracting employees, which I know everyone's having a hard time doing.
So what do you see most companies do when they save 15 or 20%? Do they put it back in their pocket, or do they offer additional benefits to people?
Well, what we're seeing a lot of groups do is if we're showing them that big of a savings, the employer can contribute a little bit more to maybe a better plan. So say they're on a gold plan now. Well, if we can save them that much money, they can make their baseline plan a platinum plan. So
they're spending the same money, just giving more value.
Well, then that way, like I said, attract and retain, talent. So how do we do that? We increase their benefits, or we turn around and maybe contribute more to their dental or vision, or maybe come in and offer pet insurance, or there's a lot of things that you can do. We've
never talked about that one before.
I don't do much pet insurance. We absolutely do it. But I don't sell much of it. I mean, the health insurance is where we really strive and can really make a difference.
Do you know though? I mean, so my son works for Disney, probably a good client for you if you can get them.
Sure.
Just my guess.
Yeah.
But they offer pet insurance there. And I just called the back line or whatever, my wife did or something. And set it up. So we didn't really even go through their normal process. So I hear so many people getting pet insurance now.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know the ins and outs like I would for health insurance. I should, we have all my insurance through my wife's work. So I go through the benefits and I make sure that our health insurance, dental, vision is on point for my wife and kids. And we haven't actually enrolled in pet insurance. So I can't speak to it, but we do offer it. I mean, we can't.
You're old timer, man. You're like me, old time.
Yeah.
We just got a little a puppy about a year ago. So, my daughter and both of my daughter-in-law said, you got to have pet insurance.
Well, it's for any open enrollment period, each business, they'll have a certain date where you can add or remove benefits. You can make changes, right? So open enrollment period comes. So maybe look at it next year when you have it, because the most expensive time to have a dog is when you first get it, right? They got to go through all these shots and all these things, and then near the end, right? So that's when the insurance is really different. So I would advise making changes to your plan at open enrollment, just like anyone should. And
sure.
That's a good point. Now is if your open enrollment isn't coming up for another 5 or 6 months, or you've already just went through it and you're still looking at maybe saving money, we can do that. You can change your insurance at any time through the year. Most people think they can only do it at open enrollment. But if you're a business owner and you would like to take a look at, maybe I want to save 20%, we can do that right now. You can change with any carrier throughout the year.
So it seemed to me, and again, having owned my own businesses, that it's a lot better to do that strategically. Right. And we'll talk about strategic changes as well when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, what's the difference between a home inspection and an appraisal? Unlock the secrets of VA home loan income requirements and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Is your budget getting blown up with high prices of gas and increased costs for other household needs? This is Ron Siegel, host of the daily home and finance radio program. Did you know if you have a low interest rate mortgage along with auto debt, credit card debt, or student loans, your family could potentially save $500 or more per month by restructuring these debts? If you'd like a free Borrow Smart analysis with our team, let's book an appointment to see how we might be able to relieve some stress. Schedule your appointment at rsrbsa.com. That's rsrbsa.com for your free Borrow Smart analysis. rsrbsa.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime. At 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. Great tool. If you haven't got it, shame on you. RSR Money. Monitor your credit, monitor your bank, monitor your assets, monitor your real estate. And oh, by the way, if you want to shop for real estate, you can do that on there too. with no advertising and no, you don't have to even worry about doing any business with them. rsrmoney.com. What's the difference between a home inspection and an appraisal? If you're planning to buy a home, an inspection is an important step in the process. It assesses the condition of the home before you finalize the transaction. It's also a different step in the process from an appraisal, which is a professional evaluation of the market value of the home you'd like to buy. In most cases, an appraisal is ordered by the lender to confirm or verify the value of the home prior to lending a borrower or a buyer money for the purchase. Here's the breakdown of each one and why they're both important when buying a home. Home inspection. Here's the key difference between the inspection and an appraisal. Bankrate says, quote, in short, while an appraisal helps you understand a home's value, inspections help you understand a home's condition, unquote. The home inspection is a way to determine the current state, safety, and condition of the home before you finalize the sale. If anything is questionable in the inspection process, like the age of the roof, the state of the HVAC system, that's the air conditioner, or just about anything else, you as a buyer have the option to discuss and negotiate any potential issues or repairs with the seller before the transaction is final. Your real estate agent is a key expert to help you through this part of the process. The home appraisal, the National Association of Realtors, NAR, explains, quote, a home purchase is typically the largest investment somebody will make. Protect yourself by getting your investment appraised. An appraiser will observe the property, analyze the data, and report their findings to their client. For the typical home purchase transaction, the lender usually orders the appraisal to assist in the lender's decision to provide funds for a mortgage, unquote. When you apply for a mortgage, an unbiased appraisal, which is required by the lender, is the best way to confirm the value of the home based on the sale price, regardless of what you're willing to pay for the house. If you'll be using a mortgage to fund your purchase, the appraisal will help make sure the bank does not loan you more than what the home is worth. This is especially critical in today's seller's market where low inventory is driving an increase in bidding wars, which can push home prices upward. When sellers are in a strong position like this, they tend to believe they can set whatever price they want for their house under the assumption that competing buyers will be willing to pay more. However, the lender will only allow the buyer to borrow based on the value of the home. This is what helps keep home prices in check. If there's ever any confusion or discrepancy between the appraisal and the sale price, your trusted real estate professional will help you navigate any additional negotiations in the buying process. That sounds good, but can I break it down a little for you? Basically, the appraisal has nothing to do with the value of the home. It has to do with what the collateral value is for the bank. You determine the value. If you're the buyer and the seller, there's a simple decision as to how you value anything. It's what a willing buyer will pay to a willing seller. Very simple. So even if the appraisal comes in $100,000 less and a willing buyer is willing to pay that to a willing seller, that's the value. Because ask the appraiser what's going to happen 2 months after the close of that transaction at the higher price. They're going to say, oh, that property is now worth what you just paid for it. Think about that concept. So that's why we have rsrappraisalgap.com, rsrappraisalgap.com, because you're able to decide what the value is, and we've got a program just in case that appraisal doesn't come in, rsrappraisalgap.com. That is the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the rsrmoney.com, brought to you by rsrmoney.com. Go there and get registered right now. Continue our conversation. We're talking to Travis Robinson, Maxwell Agency. He says that he's the business insurance guy, but I say he's more than that because he does handle the group insurance, but maybe we'll have time to talk about all the other things that they do as a value add that's probably just as valuable, and they don't even charge for the other stuff.
Right.
So, but here's what I wanted to get back to this because we were talking about this in the last segment. We're not going to repeat everything we talked about there, Travis. But I've owned my own businesses my whole life. And every business I've been in, and I know that not everyone is this way, but I think most have some level of cyclicality, right? In my business, I knew that December was going to be a dead, right? Our business, I mean, we could close the doors and probably be a lot busier because I was in the import-export business. I was supplying merchandise to retailers. Right. So I knew we were going to be dead. So if I needed to do major changes, December was a good time for me. I just spoke to a restaurant tour friend of mine, and he said they know that April's a quiet month in their business. Seems to me, if that's the case, I might want to be doing the things you're talking about in April.
Right. Well, we make the process really seamless. So we do our best to help the business owners or the HR managers with that process, with our paperless applications and process and like open enrollment. Normally, if you sit down with an employee and you're looking to change your insurance, you got to sit down, and if you're doing paper still, it'll take 20 to 30 minutes because you got to fill out an application, say from Anthem, right, for your medical. And then if you have another application because you're going with someone else for Blue Shield or for dental and vision, so that's 2 applications. Well, that's twice you're filling everything out. With our paperless systems, you fill it out once, and our enrollers will actually go out and sit with your employees, and they'll do it themselves. So if you don't have access to computers, we actually will go out there, sit down with you, and our enrollers will do it for you. So you're inputting your name once, your date of birth once, your social security once, and there's no room for error because, if you're handwriting it, I don't know if it's a 1, a 7, but when you're inputting,
I can't even read my own handwriting, so I expect you to.
Yeah, so we'll speed up the process of enrollment. It usually take you about 20 to 30 minutes per employee. We've got it down to about 7 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're saving the employee and the employers a ton of time. And then you can also get approved much faster too. If you submit paper applications, it'll take you about 2 weeks to get approved. We'll get them approved in about 3 days.
Wow. Does it help people like me that are semi-illiterate nowadays? It kind of drives me crazy that I say this, but I used to do computer consulting. After I sold my import-export, I did computer consulting.
Right.
Now I have Josh that I consult because he does everything.
Right.
But I got new our company got new health insurance, and I'm going to a new doctor, and I'm like, I can't even figure out where to put the my drugs that I take.
Right. No, we'll do that for all the employees. We
take care of that for the old people like me that can't figure it out.
Right. Well, or if you don't have a computer or that you don't have access to a computer, we bring our own. We sit down with you, and we'll do everything. And if you have certain medications that that you need to take, that's why we meet with each employee separately, because of HIPAA rules and laws. The employers can't ask those questions that we can ask. So if you need a certain medication, you need to see a certain doctor. We're going to match your plan to make sure that you can see that doctor. If you have 3 doctors that you need to go to, we'll make sure you're on the right plan to see those doctors, and that you're also on the right plan to get the certain medications that you need. And we can do that in real time. We'll as long as we have internet connection.
Okay.
Yeah. We can do that real time. And if you want to say, hey, what's it cost to add my daughter? We'll tell you right then and there. We'll add her as long as you know her date of birth. We'll add her, and it's real time. So we'll tell you right then and there.
That's pretty fascinating how far it's come.
Right.
Because I remember there was none of that available when when we were in import export. I think we sold that in the late 90s, something like that. And it's exactly what you said. They gave us these cards, and you had to give them to everybody, and then you didn't get them back. And it was a royal pain. You didn't want to change.
Right. You'd have to fax in the forms, and it's
changed a little bit.
Things have changed quite a bit. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, give us a couple of minutes on all these value adds that we talk about.
Well, we do a lot of things that we add. So employee handbooks. Your employee handbooks need to be reviewed, need to be updated and reviewed by every single one of your employees on an annual basis. And if you're not doing that, you're out of compliance. So we do that at absolutely zero cost. Sexual harassment training. If you have 5 or more employees, you have to do sexual harassment training.
Are those California or are those federal?
California.
California.
From what I know. Don't quote me on federal, but I know it's California. 5 or more, you have to do sexual harassment training. If you have regular employees or management, it's 2 different trainings. So we either offer that online. So we offer online training, or we'll actually send people out to do large group trainings. And, we have Spanish speakers, English speakers. So
multilingual.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So we'll do that. And we've got material as well. We've got a huge training service that we offer all of our groups. That's all online, but it can help lower, it goes from sexual harassment training to forklift driving training. I mean, it's thousands of hours of training that we offer for free.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it, because, look at all these different services that are there. It almost seems like it's a no-brainer that, to give you a call and check and do some exploration.
Sure. And like I said, if you want to take a look at your employee benefits, we can do that right now. We can quote it. We can look at it. There's no obligation. We'll show you exactly what plan you're on, what plan we can move you to, match benefits or improve them, and most likely save you money.
What more can I ask for? I get all these free stuff. I get match or better benefits, and I don't have to spend as much.
Yeah, and there's no obligation.
And no obligation.
Right.
Okay, so it's a free phone call.
Yeah.
Think about that. So, it used to be you had to have an 800 number for a free phone call, but nowadays, I don't think anybody even knows what. I don't think no one does. Anybody remember the days when you had to pay toll charges? Josh, you remember toll charges? Okay, he's not that young. Okay, great information. We're going to continue our conversation with Travis Robinson when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets, unlocking the secrets of VA home loan income requirements, and more. Maybe we'll talk golf when we come back. Not that I can do it, but I can go to the 19th hole. We'll talk about that. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment brought to you by RSRmoney.com. Yeah, they're got good stuff over there. That's why we push them so much. Are you a veteran active duty service member looking to buy a home? Find out how VA home loan income requirements can help make your dream a reality. With the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs offering incredible benefits such as low interest rates and no down payment requirements, VA home loans are an excellent option for veterans and active duty service members. But what about income requirements? Let's dive into the 3 main points to understand VA home loan income requirements better and see if you qualify. Number 1, there's no minimum income requirement, but you must prove stable employment. Contrary to popular belief, the VA doesn't enforce a minimum income requirement for veterans to qualify for a VA home loan. However, lenders need to ensure that borrowers can afford the monthly mortgage payments. Consequently, lenders assess the borrower's stable employment and income history. This means you'll need to provide recent pay stubs, W-2 forms, and tax returns for the past 2 years to demonstrate your ability to repay the loan. Number 2, debt to income ratio, that's the DTI, is essential. The VA and lenders evaluate your DTI ratio, which measures your monthly debt payments compared to your gross monthly income. A lower DTI ratio indicates a healthier financial situation and a higher likelihood of managing mortgage payments. While the VA does not set a strict DTI limit, most lenders look for a ratio of 41% or lower. By keeping your DTI ratio low, you increase your chances of qualifying for a VA home loan. Number 3, residual income is a critical factor. Unlike conventional loans, the VA considers residual income when evaluating VA home loan applications. Residual income refers to the money left over each month after paying all your monthly expenses. This financial cushion ensures you can cover unexpected costs and reduce the risk of defaulting on your loan. The VA sets specific residual income requirements based on family size and geographic location, which must be met to qualify for a loan. Bottom line, if you're a veteran or active duty service member, seeking to secure a VA home loan, don't let income requirements hold you back. Give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Visit ronsiegelradio.com today to learn more about VA home loan program and explore your options with expert guidance. Let us help you achieve your home ownership dreams. And I will tell you, one of the favorite loans that I've seen completed is a VA loan. And this was great. I mean, it just gives me chills every time I even talk about this. Veteran was 100% service disabled. So he made income or received income. He was also, his wife was taking care of him. So they had something called aid and attendance benefit. Neither one of them worked. Neither one of them had pay stubs. Neither one of them filed tax returns because these were all benefits from the Veteran Administration because of the service of the veteran. We were able to get them qualified to buy their own home based on those benefits. The VA wants, the Veterans Administration wants veterans to own their home. And don't say there's no down payment because these folks paid a down payment. They served. That's the down payment that they provided. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Love our veterans. Best loan on the market for those that earned it and made that sacrifice. And some of them, spouses, their loved one made the ultimate sacrifice. So let's continue our conversation. Travis Robinson is with us. So we've talked quite a bit about insurance and benefits. And, every once in a while, we go off script. So we can talk a little bit about your side gig. Coaching,
yeah. So coach at St. John Bosco. I was fortunate enough to get hired there last year, won a national championship. But prior to that, I coached, I'm almost going on 20-something years. So I've coached at Brea Olinda, Sonora, Cal High, helped a couple of those programs rebuild.
I should have worn my Orange Lutheran gear just to have you in.
I've got friends that go to Orange Lutheran, an awesome baseball program. A lot of respect.
Something these programs do a huge amount for young men.
Oh yeah, they
and
do.
Women. I mean, because there's women's programs also, but
right.
They do a huge amount for young people.
Yeah, so I'm fortunate enough. I coach at St. John Bosco, but my son plays baseball at Brea Olinda. So I'm on both ends, right? I have to be on the coaching side, so I see that aspect, and then I'm a parent, so I see that aspect too.
So you get to watch all the parents that are acting like idiots when they're with their children on the field, because every one of them is going to have the next superstar.
We've got some pretty good talent at St. John Bosco. So,
well, you do, but I mean, I'm sure you're teaching them how to be good men, and if they end up making a living at it, that's a bonus.
Absolutely,
right? Because it's still, regardless of how good you are, the likelihood of somebody making a living, if you guys have one or two guys on your team out of a national championship that ends up going to the NFL, that's probably a lot.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I don't know what the percentage of playing in the NFL is, but I'm sure it's
very, very small.
Very small. Right.
I think one of the best things, I mean, when my son played football, he was not the greatest, he'll tell you that. But one of the best things that comes from it is their ability to get into some pretty good 4-year colleges.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. They get free. I mean, they get paid to go to school, or, they get scholarships. And if they want to continue their education and also, their athletic career, that's huge too.
Yeah. It's a big benefit. So, these high school programs, and there's a lot of dedicated coaches. And, I just watched it because of how much time I spent with our son in there.
Yeah.
You watch some of the parents and they're just, you can't say it on air what I think, right? There's some that are really, really good and they're dedicated and they're willing to help.
Right.
And there's some of them that just feel so entitled that you probably lost some hair over it. I'm just guessing.
That's a lot of hair. No, I mean, it's I'm coaching and I'm also a dad. So I try to let my coach that coach my son, they do their thing. I'm very quiet in the stands. I don't, I have opinions, but I keep them to myself. I'm not educated in baseball at all. I know football, but I let them do their job,
Be nice if a lot of people did that, right?
Right. Well,
I'm sure your head coach probably has to deal with that more than
yeah, I don't know.
some of the others,
Uh,
but you know, those programs are great.
Yeah.
And you know that I'm a big believer in a lot of those programs, and you know, we were like you guys in the Trinity League,
Mhm.
and that's a pretty darn good
It's
competition.
amazing. I
there.
mean, football, baseball. I mean, these schools are doing things right, and it's, you know, there's a lot of respect between our school program and their schools and programs. And like I said, I've got friends that play baseball at Orange Lutheran, and I know the coach down at Sarah. Good people, and they're all doing the right things.
And you know something, those of us that are not very good at it, not very educated at it, you know, we can look and say, you know, something regardless. And I'm not going to ask you personal information, but for the most part, the coaches that are out there are not making a living at coaching.
No,
Right.
no,
You're not doing it because it's you're going to get rich off of doing it. You're doing it for the love of the game and the kids.
Correct. Yeah, I do get paid, and I get nice gear.
Yeah.
But I sell insurance to support my family and, you know, do other things. But
and it's a time commitment.
absolutely,
Coaches put a lot of time in.
yes,
And the better the program is, the more time the coaches put in.
absolutely.
Right. I mean, I've watched it so much that you can see that it's very, very big dedication. Your wife probably says goodbye to you in August.
Yeah,
I'll see you in December.
yeah. We've been married. we actually, Monday is our 19th. We've been married for 19
Congratulations.
years. We're 6 before that, so it's probably why my marriage has gone so long, is because we spent so much time apart.
I say the same thing. We were just 36 years, and my wife says to me, "Don't you have somewhere to go?"
Yeah, for sure.
So you got a big tournament coming up.
Yeah, golf tournament, Bosco. We have a huge golf tournament coming up. And then, so June 9th, we have a championship dinner. It's called Champions Dinner, and it's at St. John Bosco, and it's an awesome event. We have guest speakers. We do auctions. And then that's on a Friday night, I believe. And then I believe Monday, June 12th, we do a golf tournament, which is, I play in a lot of golf tournaments. I'm in insurance, and I get to play in a lot of golf tournaments. And this is one of the
Tough
best
job
ones.
for
Well, but I mean, this is one of the best golf tournaments I've been a part of. You'll get a ton of Bosco swag. You get to meet the coaches. It's just an awesome event.
Cool. So that's June 12th. Is
June
golf.
June 9th is the dinner, and June 12th is the golf tournament.
Where's the
Yes.
golf at?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember, but
Is there
it's
a
beautiful
website or
course.
someplace?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can-
So you can call the show, obviously, or if you go to bosco.org/golf classic.
Bosco.org/golf classic.
Yep.
So you have to be a graduate in order to understand, be able to spell all that stuff. So, but it's good stuff. I mean, it's supporting the young people, and we love the ability of supporting the young people because, these programs nowadays, especially, and I don't know what Bosco's is, but I know that Orange Lutheran, back in the early part of the 2000s, was a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. It takes a lot of money to run these programs.
Yeah.
Bosco.org/ I don't know. I'm not getting the right place here, so we're going to have to get that information for you. Or maybe it's just me and I can't spell. But the bottom line is these things take a lot of money. There it is. I couldn't spell.
Yeah.
June 9th, champion dinner. June 12th, golf classic, 2-day event, sponsorship packages. The school is in Bellflower, cocktail hour. That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Disney park hopper tickets with no blackout dates, a raffle. Eldorado Park Golf Course.
Beautiful golf
in
course.
Long Beach.
Yes.
Now you remember it all.
I can drive there. I just don't know. I forgot. Yeah.
Okay, so we got it all there for you.
Yeah.
If you want more information, again, just go to the website or give us a call at 800-306-1990. We'll put you in touch. Bosco.org/golf classic. Give you all the information. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
I'll just call it a day. Pour me something.